Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Wanted to talk about these things that have actually been appearing kind of off and on for the last year on my channel. These are a couple of studio lights that I got, and I've been very happy with them. Now, I was doing a bunch of videos recently talking about gifts I got for Christmas, and these things actually came last year for Christmas. But it's taken me this long to actually do a review of them because A, I had a surprise when I did the unboxing, which I'm going to show you in a second. And B, I thought I'd actually give them a little test run. What are these things like to actually light for my videos? You may have noticed some improvements in some of the stuff I've been filming lately. These two guys are to be credited with that. What are these? I heard about these on a, video that was recommending different lights for, small YouTubers and that. And this particular set really set the bar for me because they do some awesome stuff. These are Yongnuo YN300 Airs. They're very small. They're very affordable. Like, I think the two of them cost me 75 bucks, or maybe they're 75 bucks each. I can't remember, but less than 100 bucks for lights. And they do an amazing job. So I'm going to kind of show you what happened in the unboxing, the surprise I ran into, and just a general review of what these things were like to use for the past year. Alright, let's see what actually comes in the box. YN300 Air. What do you get? Ooh, some QR code stuff. What's that for? It's all in Japanese, so I don't really know. So we'll leave that there. More that I also don't speak, so that's fine. There's instructions here. Good, but all in Japanese. However, there's a lot of pictures, so that's good. That's fine. I'll read over that in a bit. Let's check these guys out. They are so small. I'm really surprised. Okay. Let's check this guy. So there it is. Wow. Okay, so basically the size of my hand. Maybe 6 inches by 4 inches. There's a ridge thing there for the holder, which I'm guessing is down here, maybe. Aha! Ooh, okay. Nice little neoprene bag for carrying it around in. Cool, I like that. And little handle. And I think this is the stand. Yes! In fact, that might actually go onto a thing, so it could go on like a little tripod. Very cool. So yes, here is this. Now wait a second, that... Oh, I wonder... Oh, okay, hang on. It looks to me... Okay, that unscrews from there. That can slide onto there. I think it goes that way. Maybe. I don't want to mess with it too much. Well, I'll figure that out in a second, but basically, yeah, that looks like that would go into there. And then these, that just screws into there. Okay, well, so that's what comes in the box. Let me, I'll do the final version in a sec. So where's the surprise, I hear you ask? Well, then I tried to turn the thing on and I realized it doesn't come with a battery. I've actually had to buy one separate. That's this little guy here, which is a Watson Li-ion battery pack. And this was also almost the same price as the lights in getting set up here. So the lights themselves, and I'm going to put links down below to all of these things. Lights themselves cost me about $70 Canadian. I think they're 61 US. And the battery itself was another 50 bucks US. So the batteries themselves are practically the same price as the actual light itself. But man, are they worth it. Now you can get, these are standard photography lights that you can use in a lot of different things. This one, I believe, is the 2-pack, the 44 milliamp hours. You can see on the label there. I can make it out almost. Again, details down below. But there's one that's not quite as thick as this. You can see this sticks out quite a lot away from the light. There was one that was smaller, but I thought, in case, I don't know what the battery life is like, I might as well get this one because I think it was maybe 10 bucks more. So that's why I ended up going for it. However, it has actually got a huge length of time that this thing will stay on for. I actually turned it up. Now let me just move this stuff out of the way, and I'm not going to shine the light at the camera, but one of the things that I like about this is you can adjust how bright the light is. This is the power button here. When I turn it on, you'll see that it's at 21. I'll describe what that means later. And this is a soft white light. This is very, very pleasant. I can crank it up to 99. This is actually a spinning dial, and I can actually crank it up to 99. Now that's blooming the camera. I've left this thing on for the amount of duration of the charge of the light, and it took hours at 99% strength. So I thought, well, since I'm actually not playing it that much, I'm only doing it, you know, typically at the 20 to 50% range, it's got a huge amount of lifespan in these little batteries. One disadvantage, I'll turn that off. One disadvantage though is because the battery sticks out so far, it's actually kind of hard to balance the light. See, it keeps wanting to fall off or fall down. I actually find these little stands, and I did manage to get them to connect right, I'll show you in a sec, but I have to actually kind of tilt it a bit in order to make the thing stand upright. You see there, it's almost like it's on an angle, and that, you know, that's one downside of this battery being so big. It actually is heavier than the light itself, so things tend to fall back a ways. Where did I make my mistake in not being able to put this stand on this little foot? Well, it obviously goes in there now. This rotating disc here actually moves the plastic up and down on a thread. So you have to actually wind it so that this little metallic foot is free. Then you can slide it in and then just rotate the disc again until it holds tight to that little foot. I really like that. The fact that this thing comes with so many different accessories. You've got the little stand, you've got those little handles that this thing originally comes on, and the mini neoprene bag, all of that in here for 75 odd bucks. Heck of a good deal. I really like. That was a major reason why I went for this thing. So let me show you the light itself. In addition to, so I showed you the, I still haven't figured out what these barcodes are for, by the way. Let me show you the other thing is the great versatility in the control of what you can do. So you turn it on, and as I noticed or mentioned before, you turn this to go up and down in percentages. You can have it down as down to 0.1. And it's still a little, here, let me just adjust the brightness here. Okay, so that's the light at its lowest, and then you can increase and decrease. I obviously won't do it, and then you can turn it right off. Okay, so yes, you can go all the way from an off position at 0, 0, and you can crank it up in degrees or 10% at a time. Now there's also some very nice controls here. You see, can you make it out? Yes, the word coarse. So there's 4 buttons. I'll show you each of them in a sec. Coarse. So instead of going up 10% at a time, if you've got a situation where you want to be a little more refined, hit this button and go from coarse to fine. And now you're going to actually go up 1% at a time to find exactly the level of brightness that you want. That's really nice. I like that. There's also, above the button above that is the battery button, which will tell you what your power level is on a scale from 1 to 9. This is currently power level 5. I've been using this for a while, and it's only halfway through its power cycle, or you know, it'll need a recharge in a while, but I think it's going to last me for quite a bit. In addition, the other thing, this button down here that says 5500K, that's this soft, oops, hang on, let's do the brightness, there we go. So that's for soft white light, and if I want, I can hit that and change to this, hang on, let's turn it, I'll turn the white off. There we go. And I'll hit the other color, go to coarse, and now I've got a nice flesh-colored light. You'll notice in my intro there, one light was white and the other one is this more golden hue, sepia tone, if you will. You've got both capabilities in this light, and in fact, you can even turn them both on there. Now I've got both sets of lights going. So you really get a nice variety of color temperatures you can do. You can turn the white ones very slightly on. You can turn the, where's the other color? You can turn it so that those go down. You know, there's a great variety of options here in this light. The last button I haven't quite wrapped my head around. It's set, and basically it allows you to say, okay, if I always want this thing to be at a 10 for one color and, I don't know, 31 for the other, I can hit set and it'll hold that. And then if you turn the thing off, you go back, it always remembers where you last left off. But let's say I go down to 11, turn it off. I think when I hit set, it'll push me back. Yeah, there you go. That's how it works. So it'll save one setting of the light for whatever your particular situation is. And I've got one at the end of this video that I haven't quite wrapped my head around. However, why has this been useful? Well, I've actually ended up having different scenarios where the lights have been very handy. I think one of the first ones I did was one of the last Friday foursomes I did for Novabug. I was noticing it was a little dark in the room, so I just put the light very, very slightly on just to give myself a bit of fill. Another one was one of my Blade Runner videos where the window nearby and the TV that was playing, you couldn't really make out what, or I would be cast in darkness pretty easily by any bright stuff behind me. I just put one of these in front of me just to give me a little bit of a fill light. That was super, super handy. Really, really like that. Another great purpose for this, for the lights, and especially for the color variation, is for filming my Star Wars figures. Now, when I did the Rancor video, I was able to get a really decent level of lighting to make it pop, to make the toy pop, and to give myself, even though it was a very cramped little space, it felt bigger than it really was because of the way it was lit. But the big one of the Star Wars toys was when I did my Dagobah playset. I wanted to make it look a lot like it is in the film, where it's very gray, so I ended up using the white setting of the light for the majority of that. However, then when I showed as best I could by cramming my camera inside Yoda's hut, I changed to the warmer color, because inside Yoda's hut he's got his fire going and it's got that warm color. These are really handy features to have in this light. I really, really like this thing. It's because of the variation. Like, there's a lot of different settings, a lot of different controls I can use. Also, it's got these awesome accessories that allow me to put it up on pedestals and stuff. That little handle thing does fit perfectly into a little potted plant kind of a thing we have. So anytime I need to, I can just, if these things are too thin or light or whatever, I can actually just put the handle for this thing, I can attach it to the handle, and then I can just plug it in. Okay, I can't really describe it, but basically, yes, here's the thing on top where it was originally mounted. This is how it comes inside the box. I've got a nice little thing that this will fit nicely on top of. So I just drag these around, plug them on top, and I've got little stands for my lights to go anywhere in the house. It's perfect. But there's one area where it's not perfect. Now sadly, the last part of the lights that are not working out for me are to do with this green screen, which has been the bane of my existence. Anyone who knows green screens, you want to kind of have one light, you know, on this side so that you're casting a shadow, or if shadows have to cast, they'll go off to one side, and then over here will be another light so that that'll cast in the opposite direction and cancel each other out. But I can't get the darn thing to work. I'm going to show you sort of the trouble. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's wondering about what the lights are sitting on, it's actually on my Star Trek Captain's chair. These armrests for the Captain Kirk look are actually perfectly set up so that the lights will sit here and direct themselves for me. So that's a bonus, but let me show you what the problem is as far as the green screen is concerned. So at first I would have the lights cranked to the maximum, which they are right now, super bright and in my face. That's great, I thought to myself. That means there won't be any shadows because that light's casting that way, that light's casting that way. Perfect. But you can kind of see right now, the shimmery material that this green screen is made out of, that's the new problem. Sure, I may not have any shadows around me, although to be honest, those were happening too. But because of this shimmery material, I found it very, very difficult to get the green to be diffused in such a way that whatever background I wanted to have, this wouldn't be a problem. And I just can't get it. So I thought to myself, aha, maybe the problem is I got to turn the lights down a little bit. And that makes it a little better. And sure, it's a little better. At least now it's kind of softer or not quite as bright and harsh. And so therefore, I'll have a little bit of ease when it comes to making the shadows disappear. Also, the shimmeriness seems to be reduced, but it's still there. I have a feeling this material that I bought is not really the best. Like, it's great because the green screen can be packed away when I don't need it, but I'm kind of thinking, you know, it would have been better to go with a matte material like a blanket, a big green blanket or something like that. If your setup doesn't have a very shiny green screen like mine does, this is one of those collapsing foldy ones, I think you'd be okay with these lights. But if you've got, like I have, a very shiny green screen, you got a problem. However, maybe I've got the solution for that. So my solution for now, and it's still not perfect, I keep the lights low, like at about 20 on either side. That still casts that kind of reflective front on there. So what I'm actually doing is I've got an old paper or plastic bag that's very white on one side, and I essentially just shroud one of the lights in it, like so. And therefore, when you look at the other side, that's what you've got. It's sort of better. With the lights in bags, you only get a little bit of that reflectivity, and it's not bad, but I'm still working on it. So that's it now with the bags on top of the lights and the lights at 20%, but I think now it's a little too dim. I've been playing cat and mouse with this thing. Sometimes the brightness needs to go up, sometimes the bag needs to be over it. I think what I'd really like to do, I did even try lampshades over the things. If I can get some very nice clear lampshades, maybe that'll work. Also, I need to give this thing a wipe. You probably noticed there's a bit of dirt on the green screen as well. However, the green screen has been the one thing that I really wanted to get both lights for, and it's been a real pain to try and get this thing to work the way I want it to. But we'll see. Outside of the green screen, though, I'm very, very happy with these lights. So anyway, in conclusion, there are my Yongnuo YN300 Airs. Really great price tag for very versatile little tiny lights that are usable in a lot of different situations. I love them. These things have been a real godsend for my channel. My only complaint I think I would have is they are quite small, and so therefore they don't really throw out a wide area of light. Like, they're very good for small intimate stuff and for filling dark areas in the house or in the shot. They're not going to be great if you, say for example, you've got two people standing across from each other and you want to light them well. I don't think these would throw sufficiently for that, but other than that, and my green screen example, these are really, really awesome. I'm very, very happy with them. So maybe if you're thinking you want to fix up your lighting in your videos, I really recommend the Yongnuo YN300 Airs. I'll put a link below to where I got them, and maybe you want to check them out as well. All right, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.